Hey everybody, the purpose of this video is to look at question 1.12.12 in the Collaborative Statistics textbook. The one that says airline companies are interested in the consistency of the number of babies on each flight. The problem in part A asks us to list three things that are wrong with the way the survey was conducted. The first thing I thought of was the fact that the entire study was done on flights from Boston to Salt Lake City to determine the number of babies on its flights. The entire study was done Boston to Salt Lake City. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting to do that because that limits your scope of your study from no longer all flights that this airline runs to simply Boston to Salt Lake City. You've limited any variations in family size and number of children. For example, I've been to Salt Lake City and families seem very, very large there compared to the families I've seen in Boston. So if you had Salt Lake coming back to Boston versus Boston going to Salt Lake, you might get different data. Not to mention New York flying to Portland or Tulsa flying to Fargo or whatever other cities these airlines might fly to. So there's one thing that first caught me off guard, was the fact that it was only Boston going to Salt Lake. Second thing, they did it over Thanksgiving weekend. Thanksgiving weekend is for sure the busiest travel day of the year, or so I've been told. I'm not exactly sure how that statistic is arrived at. But is it representative of the rest of the travel year? Probably not. Probably not. How much of that travel, the busiest travel day of the year, is air travel versus light rail travel versus people just driving in cars? I have no idea. I haven't looked into it myself, but the fact that it was done only over Thanksgiving weekend is suspect. The third problem I see with it is the fact that they did 6 flights from Boston to Salt Lake. 6 flights from Boston to Salt Lake over Thanksgiving weekend. This is a bit of a problem. Hey buddy!